Hello, welcome to CCK Live. I am coming to you from our Texas office located in downtown Houston, and we are going to talk through a brief VA year in review. So happy 2023, everybody. 2022 is behind us. It was a huge year in VA law and in veterans issues across the board. So we're going to just kind of run through what happened as we look forward into going into 2023. Here are the key things that we are going to hit today. The PACT Act, Camp Lejeune legislation, Board of Veterans Appeals backlog and CCK's legal actions, VA updates, 2022 NDAA reforms, and Veterans Supreme Court cases. So that's a lot to get through, but we'll do it as quickly as we possibly can. PACT Act and Toxic Exposure VA Benefits Bill enacted. First, the PACT Act, landmark legislation for all generations of toxic exposed veterans, was signed into law in August. I have heard a lot of people talk about this as the largest veterans benefits legislation that has been passed in over 2 generations. So it was in fact a huge deal. It means billions and billions of dollars in benefits to veterans who have earned them. The legislation aims to provide improved benefits and health care to veterans suffering from toxic exposures, and those include Agent Orange, burn pits, and it also expands exposure-related research, resources, and training. Learn more about the PACT Act in our blog or on YouTube. Camp Lejeune legislation. Importantly, the PACT Act also created a federal cause of action for any individual, including veterans who resided, worked at, or were otherwise exposed to Camp Lejeune's water for at least 30 days between August 1st, 1953 and December 31st, 1987. I do not expect you to remember those dates, but please go to our website as we explain more about it. This is a very complicated area of the law, and CCK is working with our colleagues across the nation to serve veterans who have served at Camp Lejeune and are entitled to compensation under that act. Board of Veterans Appeals updates. There were also some significant changes and updates regarding the Board of Veterans Appeals in 2022, and there's a lot of information about this on our website as well. First, the president appointed a new chair of the board, and he took over in late summer, early fall, and he will be inheriting a Board of Veterans Appeals that continues to face challenges with backlogs both in the legacy system and in the Appeals Modernization Act system. The Board of Veterans Appeals has underdelivered on what it promised to do in 2022, and the Board of Veterans Appeals continues to experience a massive backlog of these appeals. At the end of fiscal year 2022, BVA, the Board of Veterans Appeals, missed their twice revised decision goal. Despite historic budget levels, the board continues to issue fewer decisions every year. CCK takes legal action against them. In 2022, CCK also decided to take legal action against the Department of Veterans Affairs based on 2 specific issues with the VA process. We filed several petitions for writs of mandamus against the board based on a lack of productivity regarding the processing of legacy and AMA appeals in the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. We submitted a FOIA request in district court because VA had not produced the documents that we had requested. Both of those are bearing some fruit right now at the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. They are not finished, and I will have many updates as that litigation winds its way through our court system. But we have done that to take action against the Board of Veterans Appeals, and we're hoping that either because of or in concert with our actions, the Board of Veterans Appeals does get around to making a lot more decisions in 2023 than they made in 2022. They certainly have an increased budget to do it, and I understand that they are getting increased personnel, and so we remain hopeful that the veterans who are waiting so long at the Board of Veterans Appeals, so many years, will start to have their claims worked correctly. VA updates. There were significant changes at the Department of Veterans Affairs involving benefits, proposed updates, and more. VA experienced its biggest benefits increase based on the cost of living adjustment since 1981, 8.7% cost of living adjustment. You can find out more about that on our website as well. VA announced new debt collection regulations that were effective March 4th, 2022. This includes regulations regarding VA overpayments. VA also proposed changes to rating certain disabilities in February 15, 2022. This includes changes in evaluative rating criteria for sleep apnea, mental health, and tinnitus claims. VA initiated a pilot run of a new automated benefits delivery system test. It aims to significantly shorten the VA review process, so stay tuned for more on that. VA also extended Gulf War presumption deadlines to 2026. Will affect many of our Gulf War veterans. Supreme Court cases. In 2022, the Supreme Court heard 2 cases in which CCK advanced some arguments, George versus McDonough and Arellano versus McDonough. In George, that centered around the definition and application of clear and unmistakable error, and the case raises important issues about the retroactivity of judicial decisions interpreting statutes. Arellano versus McDonough, the veteran appealed a PTSD benefits grant, requesting that the timetable in the controlling statute be equitably told, thus providing an earlier payment date for benefits. Neither of these were CCK cases, but we did contribute to legal arguments in both of those cases when they were at the lower courts, and even filed an amicus or friend of the court brief in these cases before the Supreme Court. Please check out our YouTube videos to learn more about the Supreme Court cases, and thank you very much for tuning in. This is Zach Stolz coming to you from Houston, Texas today. Take care.